everybody, and welcome back to 539. So today we are back for round 2, and we are heading back into the ghost town area. Although I think today we're just going to end up checking out this little cemetery hidden in the back of the woods and see if it did indeed get any damage from the recent heavy storms, as I was talking about on last episode. If it does turn out that there's really no change, although I guess that's really what we want it to be, because that means that there's no damage from this really massive tree that was about ready to fall down, excuse me. But at the same time, you know, obviously we want to make these episodes interesting, so if there's nothing really to see there, then we'll make this again sort of a multiple location part, and we'll head to a couple other places and check out a few other things. It is again getting fairly close to sundown, and so I don't know all what we can do in the dark, but if it gets dark too quickly here, we may just go ahead and try and do a few things in the dark. I think there's a few locations that might work for that as well, so we'll see what happens. Here we are. There was somebody parked right in there last time, a black truck, and just out of safety concerns, especially with everything going on, I didn't want to go back there, but we will check and see if maybe it was someone doing some work. Let's see how deep those divots are. I can't imagine it was really easy for that truck to get out last time, so you can kind of see why I don't try to venture in here with the car, even though I guess technically you could. And here is our grouping of old beehives. I don't think they're actually being used anymore, and it looks like some of them are gone this time, so maybe that was the owner of the hives that came by to pick up some of the, I don't know, it just seems like they've been there for a long time or have long since been abandoned by the original person. It is going to be quite a sight to see though when we get up here. The reservoir looks absolutely amazing, and it has been drained. Apparently the dam has been opened, and so we will get a chance to take a look at that. It looks absolutely incredible. This part is still a little wet. A lot of areas have actually dried completely. You can see the major difference from last time. And right over here is where the shoreline normally is. And turning back, you can see that thankfully the tree was strong enough up in the top section to hold up, even though it looks like the bottom was rotted enough that that is the reason it fell to begin with. So kind of interesting, especially with those incredibly heavy winds, that it has survived. And it looks like maybe somebody started a little bit of restoration work. I don't remember this actually being here last time. I did spot someone just driving by. I don't think they were checking on me, but I did notice it. It looked similar to the person that slowed down to check me out the last time, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, since we've already checked this place out recently and we have our answer now, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the road here. I'm gonna go check out a few other locations. Hopefully I have the time to film it tonight. If not, I guess I'll hit the road once again tomorrow. Oh, let's see. Somebody driving by, but this time it's actually a school bus. So, luckily, it doesn't appear that there's anybody parked out by my car. But again, it did look, in my very short glimpse, to be similar at least to the truck that was checking me out the last time. But again, probably not a big deal. Wow, somebody really went on a joyride. So we're jumping forward just a little bit. Nothing was really looking good, so I decided that it might be a good idea to do an update on the lost cemetery that we've been looking for a long time. Which, once again, I want to reiterate, it is not a 1970s cemetery. It has been lost since the 1970s, and it is a 1800s cemetery. So just to clear up any confusion, a few people had left some comments saying it's ridiculous to think that a cemetery built in the 1970s was lost already, and maybe that is true, but that's just not what this is. See the massive dam over here, and we're gonna try something slightly different than we have in times past. Alright, I don't remember if I actually showed everybody this last time, because I think that the time that I recorded this, I never ended up releasing it because I, of course, didn't find anything once again, and I didn't want to release an episode where I didn't find anything at all. So, yeah, I left it out completely, and maybe I'll throw up that on the Patreon or something as some cool behind-the-scenes footage here. Alright, so I actually decided to cross down towards the bottom. I found something interesting. I'm not sure if I've ever actually checked out. The measurements don't add up because it's supposed to be about a quarter of a mile from this main road here. And my thought was that it could have been possible that they last discovered it when they were doing work installing new electrical lines. And I don't know if this was the smartest way to climb. And so this was an area I really wanted to check. And I can't remember actually being in this area before. It is in quite a precarious position. It takes a lot of climbing. And since this area is also usually heavily flooded, even up here, it might have been something that I accidentally overlooked. Oh, this is hollow. Hopefully nothing's living in it. There's somebody's cigarette pack though. Oh. Yeah, really not seeing anything in this area so far, but it also could be kind of buried. But it would be a very convenient place to have something. looks like something's whole. And this is not the area that I was wanting to check today. It just kind of occurred to me that I've accidentally passed over this area several times. But again, like I was saying previously, it actually doesn't fit into the story, or not the story, I guess the news story would be the appropriate term, but it doesn't really fit into that narrative of being about a quarter of a mile away, which would be a little bit further in this direction here. Which, I'm not sure if it's smart to cut through there with as little daylight as I have, but I'm kind of glad that I took the chance at the very least. But I can't really tell. There's just some interesting signs, to say the least, but not much else. I really don't think I've been through this entire little corridor. It's like hills on both sides of me. I don't remember ever searching in this part. I don't assume that I'm gonna find it here. We are getting closer to the correct, or the assumed correct distance. There's something up here. I don't know what it appears to be. Is that metal or sheared off stone? Oh, is that stone? Wow. And the stone's literally growing to the side of this tree. Kind of interesting. And you can kind of tell how little time I have. A really old can. Maybe it's a good sign. Yeah, I think it's kind of encouraging that I have found a place at least that I haven't searched before. Might have to come back here. I've been near here before. You'll see coming up, there's a bridge, a functioning bridge, that goes over the road. And we're very close to that. But this specific area, actually, never come to before. So who knows? I'm not expecting anything, but you never know. This is kind of interesting. This shape might just be a very large rock, though. Well, there's some more cans. And you'd kind of think that that wouldn't necessarily be a sign of anything, but you'd be surprised how many times you find old 1800s graveyards and you'll find people's old jars and old alcohol bottles and things that they would bring when they would come to visit. It's kind of interesting. It actually is grown like moss and things on the inside. There does seem to be an excess amount of stones. However, since this area is flooded through a lot of the year, it looks kind of like a dried up riverbed when it isn't flooded. So it doesn't really mean anything. There is the bridge over there that we checked out a few episodes ago on this particular series. It's been a while for the entire 539 series, but it is kind of interesting. We are occasionally coming to areas that we've been to before, and with as thick as it gets up here, I'm not actually sure, even though it's such a short distance away, I don't know whether or not I have enough time. It's just kind of sad. As the sun is starting to dip down behind the hills here, it's going to quickly grow dark and incredibly cold, and it's going to be almost impossible to really find anything. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes here, and then we will head back. Luckily, the water has receded, especially since it's been raining and snowing and then melting quite a bit lately. So I wasn't really expecting, whoa, what is that? Is that an old sign? Whoa. Yeah. Holy crap, I only found something. Alright. Come to this stream here. I might cross real quick if I can find a good place to do it. I'm just repeating so much here, but again, I wanted to give everybody an update, let you kind of see what was going on, and of course some of the difficulties that go with trying to find places like this. And the other issue is that even if I do find something right now, I still have to turn around and leave. So I think that's kind of the defining argument and the winning argument for me at this point. So we'll drive around. This actually is a dead-end road that used to go all the way through, and so I think we'll drive around and check out the other end of it, and then we'll pick up on part 3 of the Ghost Town series with another abandoned bridge that appears that you can nearly drive right up to it, and it has long ago collapsed. I'm not sure how close we can get, but we're gonna try and do that, and so it should be kind of interesting. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and of course check out the other social media, whether it's Instagram. I have a Facebook page, Instagram especially, check that out. Got lots of great still photos there. Alright, we are hopping back in the car right now. We're gonna go check out the other end of this dead-end road. It used to not be a dead-end road, and it used to have a different name too, according to the historical paperwork. So this didn't used to be here until the dam was built. The actual road is right up here. And way down there, it actually dead ends. But what we're gonna do is actually take it out this way here, and we're gonna drive around to where the road used to meet up with another crossroad going through the area. one's kind of a weird one. I don't really know why it's like this. I'm not sure the history behind it, but although it is close to this reservoir project, it itself was not really hindered, the road meaning, was not hindered by the project, so there was no real need to block the road off and turn it into a dead-end road. So yeah, I would love to know the history behind it. Maybe I'll have to, I mean, I'm not even sure if something like that, I'm sure it's written down somewhere, but it's gonna be incredibly hard to find. So yeah, maybe if I do some research I'll find it, maybe not. So we're coming up on it here, and it's actually still listed. Well, I don't know if it's technically listed as a functioning road, but on the maps you can see it. See, there's a little bit of a, well, not a little bit, there's a horse club there. And then we should come up on an intersection where we can turn left, and it won't appear that we could turn right, but we used to be able to turn right. And it's right up here. See that now it's listed as private property. It's actually not private. It appears to be government owned. It does say classified forest, which is usually a project where they're trying to rehabilitate a natural area. I was trying to avoid traffic, and the person I was trying to avoid ended up turning exactly where I turned. Well, the fence didn't keep him out. Or her, I suppose it was, right? Well, I think that's gonna do it for part 2. I know we didn't really find a whole lot on this particular episode, but I still think it's an interesting area. And of course we will be heading back to this area for some more abandoned finds and going down some old ghost town roads like we did last time. But once again, I did want to check out that location and see what had happened there. I thought it was kind of interesting, at the very least, to be able to see the reservoir and how different it looks at different stages. And so it wasn't a complete bust. And of course, I wanted to update you guys on the lost cemetery that we've been looking for quite a while now. It's been lost since the late 1970s, and I'm hoping to locate it again, and maybe we can see a marker put up for something like that, and maybe a little bit of restoration work done. So who knows, we'll have to locate it first, which is why I wanted to leave today and pick up when it's light out. That way I can make sure that I can find it again and make sure to mark it appropriately so that it can be located and restored. And yeah, really looking forward to that. So thank you all once again for watching. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the episodes. And of course, I will see you all in the next adventure.